Buenas tardes, good afternoon. I'm going to call this meeting to order. It's 6:05. Next be the roll call.
Alex Cantu, present.
John Anise here.
Claudia Ochoa, present.
And Oscar Salinas here. Dr. B, I do declare a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Welcome, members of the audience. We're going to have Aileen Arevalo, a graduate from STC, who got an associate's in interdisciplinary studies, top 10%, National Honor Society, softball, loves spending time with her family, and she is from La Jolla. Is it from La Jolla Early College? Great. And her parents are San Juan Arevalo and Ramon Alvarez. Will everyone please stand so that Aileen will lead us for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Eileen. You represented your campus well. We're proud of you with your associate's degree.
Thank you. Up next, we'll have the approval tax collector report. That'd be for April 2018. I'll need a motion.
So move.
A motion by Mr. Cantu and a second by Ms. Ochoa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Next up be the approval minutes for the special call meeting, May 2nd.
So move.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Cantu and a second by Mr. Anís. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Next up, Doc, again, superintendent's report, and you have a long one there to go. So,
Yes, but a fun one. For our enrollment report, we have, as of May 15th, we had 14,068 elementary students, and we had a total of 13,991 secondary students, for a total of 28,059 students. We're winding down. Friday is our last day of school. Any questions on the enrollment report?
no.
If not, I'm going to ask Mr. Cantu and Mr. Salinas to please step forward. We're going to move one item, number 19, recognition of UIL academic state qualifiers. We're going to move that item first, and then we'll follow the rest of the items in the order that they are listed. We have Mr. Abel Zamora, secondary UIL coordinator, who's going to help us recognize the state qualifiers.
Good evening. School Board, Dr. Benavides, Assistant Superintendents, thank you for your continued support of UAL academics throughout the year. During the 17-18 school year, over 500 La Jolla ISD high school students participated in UIL. The students being recognized tonight are the select group that made it to UIL State this year. First, from Jimmy Carter, we have two freshmen that advanced the state meet as alternates in CX debate, cross-examination debate. Students could not be here, but their coach is Mr. Abiel Cantu. In theatrical design, also from Jimmy Carter, we've got Jeanette Flores, and Virginia Palomo. And their coach is Erica Garza.
If the parents are in the audience, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you and congratulations.
The following group of state qualifiers advanced in robotics. This group from Thelma Salinas STEM is a first-year robotics team and advanced all the way to the state level. At the state meet, they advanced to the semifinal round. Representing Salinas STEM are Jennifer Calderon, Juan Cano, Adrian Elizondo, Derek Garcia, Elmo Garza, Litzy Gonzalez, Tyler Gonzalez, and Cesar Villanueva.
Parents, if you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized, and congratulations to these students. This week.
The following two students represented La Jolla High School at the state meet. Placing second in the Young Filmmakers category was Eddie Barrera. The next student competed at the UIL state meet on Monday and Tuesday of this week, so yesterday. Placing first and becoming the state champion in prose interpretation, Oscar Salinas. Oscar is the only UIL speaking event champion from the Valley for 2017-18, and we just confirmed with former UIL director Nena Garza that he is the first from La Jolla ISD to be state champion in speaking events. The coach for both students is Mr. Mark Bullard. I think it's safe to say that Mr. Bullard had a good year when he had a first and second place at state.
Kids who place at state don't come around too often, so first and second place, congratulations, Mr. Bullard. Great job. I know their principals are here. Mr. Cano, you're probably here in the audience. Thank you for your support. Parents of these two students, if you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Our next recognition is recognition of the UTRGV Torneo de Ortografía Champions. And we have Irma Zúñiga, bilingual director, who's going to take care of these recognitions.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Benavides. It gives me great pleasure to recognize our UTRGV Torneo de Ortografía Champions. For the past 4 years, La Jolla ISD has participated in the Spanish Spelling Bee. Over 11 districts participated in this event at the university level. And we are proud to present to you the champions. This is the first year that we bring, there's 4 different categories, and we brought first places for 3 categories. So we're really proud of our students, our teachers, our principals. So not only can they compete here at the district level, but also at the university level. So for the first category, its primary division is 2nd and 3rd grade. We had first place going to Cindy Nolasco from Dr. Americo Paredes, third grade. Second place also in the primary division goes to Vianney Hinojosa from Tabasco Elementary, second grader. Fourth place in the same division for second and third graders goes to Jimena Escobedo from Dr. Americo Paredes Elementary. Then we move into the intermediate division, which is our fourth and fifth graders competitors. And first place goes to Axel Ruiz Vasquez from Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary. Fourth place in the same category goes to Pamela Escobedo, Dr. Americo Paredes Elementary. And this year is our first year that our middle school division also placed, and we were very proud of them. So first place goes to Ana Alviso at Ann Richards Middle School. And fourth place also goes from a student from Ann Richards Middle School, Leslie Garcia. We do want to thank their coaches, Ana Mata from Paredes Elementary, Sandra Vasquez from Tabasco Elementary, Cirilda Cuevas from Ann Richards Middle School, and of course their principals, Mr. Zapata from Ann Richards, Ms. Erica Gonzalez from Paredes, Ms. Diana Villarreal from Gonzalez, and then Ms. Marina Contreras from Tabasco Elementary. Thank you so much.
Will the other principals that are here come really quick to join for the picture? While they get organized, parents, if you're in the audience of these students, please, they're here, great, great, great. They're joining for the picture also. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, parents. Thank you, sponsors. And thank you, principals. Great job. Great, great job. Our next recognition is recognition of Palmview High School art students. Mr. Ruben Adame, Fine Arts Head Administrator, is going to help us recognize these students.
Good evening, President Salinas, Dr. Benavides, members of the school board, assistant superintendents, central office administrators, and guests in attendance. In 1980, the Texas Art Education Association members began to investigate the value of university interscholastic league participation for the visual arts. Since UIL was so prevalent in other academic areas such as drama, debate, band, orchestra, choir, and sports, it was felt that perhaps visual arts could also benefit. In the fall of 1990, with input from art educators across the state, music directors who had conducted UIL events, and UIL representatives, the Visual Arts Scholastic event, better known as VACE, was unveiled. Well, tonight we are recognizing 3 young talented artists from Palmview High School that have excelled at the state level of the 2018 VACE state competition. A huge congratulations go out to our Palmview High School art students for competing on April 28th at the state VACE competition at San Marcos High School in San Marcos, Texas. Each student received high ranks and medals. As a matter of fact, 2 of our Palmview High School students received the highest achievement award for a Texas high school art student, the Vase Gold Seal Award. Students who received a Gold Seal Award also received a Gold Seal medallion. From over 35,000 entries throughout the state of Texas, only 150 students, which is less than 1%, were awarded the Gold Seal medallion. Additionally, their work will be part of a traveling exhibition of Gold Seal works. Please help us in celebrating our theater art students who represented La Jolla ISD with distinction and pride. Students being recognized tonight are Lexi Moya, 2018 Vase State Competition participant. And you will see that they have their piece that they showed at the competition, which is very impressive. I couldn't even come close to duplicating that. Not in attendance tonight, Natalie Flores, 2018 Vase State Gold Seal Award recipient. And finally, Karina Vela, 2018 Vase Gold Seal Award recipient. Their teacher is Ms. Jackie Moran, who's standing right there, and their principal at Palmview High School is Mrs. Ivana Ayala.
Congratulations again to Palmview High School. Mrs. Ayala, if you're in the audience, please stand, and parents, please stand. Our next recognition is La Jolla Early College students and who at SDC had a 3.5 and above GPA. Mr. Domingo Villarreal, principal at La Jolla Early College, will help us with these recognitions.
Good afternoon, School Board President, Mr. Oscar Salinas, School Board members, Superintendent, Dr. Benavides, Assistant Superintendents, and audience. My name is Domingo Villarreal III, Principal at La Jolla Early College High School. And with me today is Ms. Joanna Hernandez, La Jolla Early College High School Counselor. We're proud to announce today and recognize several of our students who graduated on May 11th, 2018 from South Texas College with an Associates of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. These students who will be acknowledged have not only been involved in campus clubs, organizations, extracurricular activities, and outside activities throughout their high school years, but they've also excelled in their academics at La Jolla High School and maintained a 3.5 to 4.0 grade point average at South Texas College. On behalf of La Jolla Early College High School, we would like to thank La Jolla ISD School Board, Superintendent, and stakeholders for your support and providing this opportunity for our students. Mrs. Hernandez will now assist me in reading the students' achievement and their names.
Thank you. The following students graduated cum laude, receiving 3.5 to 3.7 grade point average with South Texas College. Eileen Arevalo. Britsadie Peña. Alan Quintana. Alyssa Rodriguez. Okay. The following students that will be recognized graduated magna cum laude, receiving a 3.8 to 3.99 GPA. Carla Guzman. Andrea Perez. Adán Salinas. The following two students graduated summa cum laude, receiving a 4.0 grade point average throughout their 4 years at South Texas College. Mariana Cantu. And Yara Sanchez.
Congratulations to these students. Wonderful, wonderful job. Congratulations to each one of you. Parents, if you were able to join us and you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized. The next recognition is recognition of the 2017-2018 La Jolla ISD migrant students, also recognizing them for their academic achievement. Mr. Raul Gonzalez, Migrant Director, will take care of these recognitions.
Thank you, Dr. Benavides. Good afternoon, Board President, Mr. Oscar Salinas, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Alda T. Benavides, and esteemed board members. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize some of our best and brightest students in our program. It is with great pride that La Jolla ISD Migrant Education Program would like to recognize the following migrant students for their academic achievements throughout the 2017-18 school year. Despite the hurdles that are imposed with the migratory lifestyle, the preceding migrant students have succeeded in achieving their objectives. They have managed to compete at the highest level while engaged in both academic and extracurricular activities. They have proven that there are no limits to their success and that barriers are made to be overcome. I would like to thank all of the efforts made by the migrant staff to ensure that our migrant students reach their full potential while enrolled at La Jolla ISD. Lastly, últimamente me quiero tomar esta oportunidad para darle gracias a todos los padres que están presentes con sus hijos aquí por todos sus esfuerzos y por apoyar a sus estudiantes a ser mejor cada día. Los padres de familia que estén presentes, si me hacen el favor de ponerse de pie para darles un caluroso aplauso en este momento. Thank you. We will begin with La Jolla High School. The following students received the Michigan State University Camp Scholarship. Brandy Valderas. Jacqueline Garcia. Alan Ibarra. Stephanie Martinez. Also receiving the camp scholarship at St. Edward's is Jacqueline Garcia, so she has two options. I just wanted to make sure that I announced that because you got two camp scholarships, so you have the option to go to either university. Congratulations. From the 2018 AMED scholarship, Jessica Martinez. From Palmview High School, Michigan State University Camp Scholarships, Emily Avila. Ashley Pacheco. Ruben Villarreal. St. Edward's University Camp Scholarship, Denise Mares. The following middle school students from Cesar Chavez Middle School are receiving A and B honor roll throughout their school year. Humberto Loredo, 6th grade, also Also reaching 1.5 million words in reading renaissance. Gabriel Gutierrez, a double millionaire. Melanie Lopez. Angel Arredondo. Bianca Gonzalez. Chanteo Garza. Giselle Martinez. From Domingo Treviño Middle School, we have Eileen Rojas, also the only 8th grader taking geometry as an 8th grader, so great job, ma'am. And lastly, from Irene Garcia Middle School, San Juanita Martinez. Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez said it well. Migrants do have lots of struggles, so a very special congratulations to these students.
I'm going to take a minute to recognize a couple of teachers that are here as well. Ms. Flores and Ms. Henning, will you please join the students? Thank you for being here.
Our next recognition is recognition of our special student, Ms. Melinda Flores, Executive Director for High Schools, will help us with this recognition.
Good evening, Dr. Benavides, school board members, and members of our community and our audience tonight. It's a privilege to recognize our student from Thelma Salinas STEM Early College High School, Juan Angel Cano. Mr. Cano is a junior, and tonight we're recognizing him for the work he did with the engineering design of the custom District Performance Acknowledgement Medallion. I'd like to note, board members, we did put a medal in your packet so that you could really take note of the custom work done by this student. Students that are going to receive the acknowledgement of wearing the medallion that's up on the screen had to have received a 3 or better on an AP score, dual enrollment credit hours, or have earned an associate's degree, one of the state industry certifications from the list of 73, and a bilingualism certification. So it is a great honor. This will be the first graduating class of students that are going to be wearing this particular medal. And it's a great honor that we have this student who utilized his talents and skills to design this for all of the students from our district. And he worked alongside with his teacher, Mr. Raul Garcia, who's the graphic design and illustration teacher at Thelma Salinas STEM Early College High School.
That is awesome. Great, great job. If Juan's parents are in the audience, would you please stand and be recognized? Mrs. Garcia, the principal, if you're here, would you please stand and be recognized?
Okay, also tonight, I have the privilege of recognizing one of our teachers from the Academy of Health Science Professions and STEM. This science teacher, Mr. Jorge L. Cantu, was accepted to be part of the Master of Science in Biology for Educators graduate program at Washington University at St. Louis.
Proud of you, Jorge.
We're very thankful for the support that we have to be in partnership with the Texas Graduate Center, and we look forward to Mr. Cantu graduating and bringing change and innovation to his instruction for our students. Thank you, Mr. Cantu. So while tonight we induct Mr. Cantu into the honor of the program, we also have the honor of now recognizing another one of our outstanding science teachers from Palmview High School, Mr. Homer Olivares, who just completed and obtained a master's degree in biology from Washington University, St. Louis. Mr. Olivares participated in the Washington University St. Louis commencement on May the 18th, and he has already completed his collaborative program sponsored by our district in partnership with the Texas Graduate Center. He is an exemplary class of 2018 graduate, and we look forward to his success with our students. Thank you all for all the support.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, our superintendent and our community. It is with great honor that I bring forward today our bus drivers. This past month, we competed in the South Texas Regional Bus Safety Rodeo, and I could say that they represent our district well, and they set the standard of bus drivers in our area. And I want to present them today. In our transit division, it was a full sweep with first place, Mr. Rodolfo Montes. With second place, Mr. Roberto Vela. And with third place, Mr. Alejandro Segura. Okay, in the conventional division, we also took home two, which is first place, Elisandro Muniz. And third place, Mr. Rodolfo Cerda. We also competed in the special needs division, and we took home third place, Mr. Hector Rodriguez and Maria Isabel Flores. And again, in this coming month, we'll be competing in Corpus Christi, and there's no doubt in my mind that we'll be bringing home the first place in that division too. So, thank you.
Mr. Lopez, wait for Mr. Alanis. Congratulations to each one of you. Great job. Very proud of you. Congratulations, sister. See you, Mr. Alanis. Our next recognition is recognition of the Folclórico Herencia de Mi Tierra, and that's from Leo Elementary. We have Principal Ms. Jasinski.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Salinas, distinguished board members, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Benavides, Assistant Superintendent, Central Office personnel, and esteemed members of the community. My name is Ellie Jasinski, Principal of Leo Elementary, the home of Leo Scholars. First of all, I would like to thank you for letting me recognize the folklorico group, Herencia de Mi Tierra. They have practiced many hours, school after school, and on Saturdays. They have performed at different events such as Tabe Conference, Math Share Fair Conference, La Jolla Homecoming Pep Rally, Palmview Posadas, and La Jolla Recitals. The 2017-2018 Herencia de Mi Tierra members are Cynthia Calvillo, Kayla Cavazos, Serali Duran, Daphne Escamilla, Ivana Garcia, Saraí Garcia, Rihanna Garza, Brianna Griffin, Sharon Guzman, Alexia Hernandez, Danica Ibarra, Jasmine Perez. Angel Betancourt, Ruben Betancourt, Eduardo Calvillo, Christian Flores, Amador Ordóñez, José Borrego, Daniel Pérez, Emiliano Solís, Maximiliano Solís, Julián Varela, and Jorge Vela. I'd also like to recognize their sponsors, Mr. Islas, Ms. Evelyn Zuniga, and Francis Rosales. Thank you.
And the way they dance. You're becoming famous. More pictures. Smile.
Good job. Thank you so much. Y'all look beautiful. Y'all look gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Beautiful girls. And boys.
Handsome.
Handsome boys.
Ahorita van a bailar. Our next recognition of the 2017-2018 Elementary Battle of the Book Grand Champions. And we have several recognitions that relate to reading, really important recognitions. But first of all, before I introduce our director who will be introducing the readers, I want all the parents from Leo Elementary to please stand and be recognized. Your children look darling and very handsome. Our next recognition, just wait. Ahorita al ratito el baile. We're going to have Mrs. Alma Salinas, Director for Library and I don't want to say the wrong. Let me say it right. Let me just look and read it, okay? Director of Library Services and Instructional Resources Department, okay? Alma Salinas.
Good afternoon, Dr. Benavides, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Salinas, School Board President, members of the board, administration, and of course, all our parents that are here. Welcome and good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to recognize our students' hard work. As you know, reading is essential, it's vital to life, so we as a department try, to work with our students as much as we can in every diverse way so that we can get them going with reading. So today it gives me great pleasure to recognize our 2017-18 Elementary Battle of Books Grand Champions, and they are from Kika Elementary, Josué González, Kaylin Torres, Michael Torres, and we had a fourth player that was Efren Munoz, who's not present today, but leading them for the second year. But this year that was our goal, to be the grand champion. And this year, as we're coming back from Region 1, they're like, we're ready for next year. We said, yes, we're ready. So our wonderful librarian, Ms. Camille Villegas. The students were the grand champions for the district and then went to Region 1 and competed, and they did outstanding. And we're ready for next year, right, Ms. Venegas? Yes. Yes. No. All pictures taken. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, principals, if you're in the audience, and principal. Parents, thank you, thank you.
So our district started having battles of books in the elementary, and then we had to start with middle school, right? Because our public librarians were saying that our elementary students were going to their public library saying, can we borrow the library so that we can do battle at the middle school? So we started out middle school, and tonight we have our grand champions for the middle school level, and that will be for the second year in a row. We have Brisa Hernandez from J.D. Salinas. Jesus Ramos. Michelle Molina. We had a 4-member in our team. His name is Rafael Lopez. He's not present tonight. But these 4 individuals were, they worked every afternoon, and believe me, the librarian was like, it was over and they're already practicing for next year. So that was pretty awesome, and that speaks very highly of our leading librarian at JD Salinas, Eliamar Hinojosa.
Congratulations to JD Salinas. Parents in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Mrs. Ortiz, principal, if you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized.
This year, we don't have a high school recognition, but we will next year. We're working on it as we're speaking, okay? Our next recognition for our department, that will be a recognition for an effort that started 10 years ago, and that is our parent book club at the high school level. This parent book club has been in effect for 10 consecutive years, and we have members in our community that are parents and now grandparents in our community that are members of this effort. So today, we are going to recognize Ms. Maria Magdalena Torres for being a member of the La Llave del Éxito for 10 consecutive years. And that's, I'm sorry, Maria Magdalena Santos. We also have Ms. Eloisa Cuate, who started as a parent educator at the high school with us, and now is a parent and grandparent that comes to our meetings. Not here with us tonight, but we want to recognize also Ms. Amalia Paramo, and then of course we would not be here if we did not have the support and that loyalty to our club, Ms. Irma Nelda Ramirez. Thank you so much.
Congratulations and thank you.
Our next recognition for library service and instructional resource, we have an effort that we started 3 years ago. It has been very effective. As a parent, I've only want the best for my child, and I've only think of the best in his genre as an Oscar, right? And so at that time, we're like, okay, how do we recognize our top readers for every level? Because reading should happen first grade all the way to 12th grade. It should not stop. So how do we get these kids going in reading every day and every time they have an opportunity? So we came up with this outstanding, really cool recognition, and we call it Oscars, standing for Outstanding Student Commitment and Accountability for Reading Success. So we will start with our first grader, and that will be Fabian Alessandro Rodriguez Ramirez from Patricio Perez Elementary. He read 1,047,163 words. Second grade, we have Delfina Janae Bazan from Kika de la Garza Elementary. Delfina read 3,222,430 words this year. Very proud. Third grade, we have third grade. Anthony de Jesus Montemayor from William Clinton Elementary. He read 3,997,475 words this year. In fourth grade, we have Angela Jolie Flores from San Ferdinand Elementary, and she read 2,729,000 with 2 words. Great job. From fifth grade, we have Cristian Heriberto Santos from Emiliano Zapata Elementary. And so that you know, Emiliano said last year, his principal told me earlier today, that he had said last year, I am going to be the top reader for my grade level, and I'm going to get an Oscar next year. So I congratulate you for getting your role. He read 5 million words, 119,837 words. So good job. All we do is so that we can get our students encouraged, challenged, setting their own personal goals. And if we don't do that, then we did not accomplish anything. The next recipient of the Oscar Award is here for the second year in a row. Her name is Leilani Natalie Ortiz from Irene Garcia Middle School for the second Oscar. Reading 5,441,606 words. Second Oscar. Good job. So reading doesn't stop in elementary. It continues in middle school. So in middle school, we also have Mady Yaritze Ibarra from Juan de Dios Salinas Middle School. Who, when we did the deadline, because we have to do deadlines so that we can generate the reports and submit them to our school board, but right now she's at 10 million words. Good job. As our students get older, it gets harder for them to do more independent reading because when they're elementary, well, they're in elementary. But when they get to middle school, they have other activities that they do, like UIL and then athletics. But these kids have not stopped reading, so really, really hard work here. So, okay, so our next recipient of an Oscar, it is our 8th grader, Araceli Salazar from Ann Richards Middle School. Araceli read 7,095,644 words. Good job, Araceli. Okay, like I mentioned, it gets harder as they get to the greater school. So high school is even tougher because they get involved in other activities. So our 9th grader, who is the recipient of an Oscar today, is Itali Rios Torres from Thelma Salinas Early College High School. She's not present today, but we would like to recognize her. We'll send her Oscar with her librarian, who is here today, Ms. Michelle Irregas. Thank you so much, Ms. Irregas. Because as librarians, it is our job to make sure that we get the books that they need and they want to read for their own personal pleasure, because reading should be about having fun. So thank you, Ms. Irregas, for being there for your students. She read 7,750,668 words this year. Okay, moving on to our sophomore Oscar recipient, we have Yaret Aguilar from Juarez Lincoln High School. She read 472,507 words this academic year. Good job, Yaret. Okay, we also have our junior today, but it's a lady. She is not here today. Her name is Allison Valeri Lerma. She's not present today. We will send her Oscar with Ms. Ana Maria Perez, her librarian. Thank you so much, Ms. Perez, for making sure that our students at Juarez keep that reading and that they get the books that they want to read. She read 2,487,000 words. 490 words. So she's almost at halfway. Okay, so our senior of the night, who will be our recipient for an Oscar today, that is Elian Villapoldo Flores from La Jolla High School. Elian read 2,919,000 with 451 words. Congratulations to all our Oscar recipients. We'll see you next year again here.
Congratulations for being role models in your grade levels and being good readers. Parents, if you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized. This is
And they're librarians.
also, I'd like to recognize the librarians and the principals for supporting and pushing reading. Would you please stand and be recognized?
Our last recognition from our department, Library Service and Instructional Resource. As our department for curriculum instruction, we are always looking for ways to keep our students engaged in reading. And now, as at the 21st century, we do have a lot of social media and a lot of distractors in our homes. So as librarians, we need to make sure that our students are always having what they need at the library, and that we work with our teachers and that we work with our parents so that our students can get the books that they want to read at home. And so that we provide also the books to our community so they can take them home and then read them at home too. That we have activities for our parents so that they can also model with their children this wonderful habit, which is to read. So our next recognition, it gives me great pride because when we came up with the Oscars, we did not think of kinder. We thought of first grade all the way to 12th grade. But then this is when we start challenging each other, right? And so our curriculum instruction, we set our goals for our kids so that they can be really successful. So we do want our kinder students to read to, and also to be reading independently if they're possible. So this year, it gives me great pleasure to recognize our kinder top reader, Ms. Haley Itzel Cantu, for an outstanding student commitment to accountability in reading, and she will be recognized with a medal. Ms. Haley Itzel Cantu has been read to, read with, and read independently 509,051 words. So let's give her a round of applause. I am going to ask because it's a team effort. It's not just the teacher, it's not just the librarian, it's also the parent. It starts with you parents at home. And so I'm going to ask Ms. Itzel's parents to please come and join Haley Itzel. And then I'm also going to ask Ms. Nancy Garcia, her kinder teacher, for please helping us. I know that Haley was also placed in first grade because she can actually read third grade. So this young lady is going to do great. So,
oh my God, I didn't realize that was your little girl.
She's gorgeous too.
So parents, teacher, librarian, where's the librarian? Yeah? No? First grade? Yes, go ahead. Ms. Gutierrez is coming.
That's wonderful.
Ms. Miriam Gutierrez. Ms. Miriam Gutierrez had a baby this year, and by the time I said, "Why are you doing here?" She was already working. She is so passionate about her work, and it shows. She is a wonderful librarian. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez, for leading your pre-kinder, kinder, and all the way to fifth grade to be ferocious readers. Thank you. It takes a team. Thank you so much. I want to thank the administration, the school board members, and Dr. Benavides for giving us the challenge to make every student a reader. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Our next recognition is recognition of UIL academics at middle school. Mr. Abel Zamora will take care of these recognitions.
The following students are the La Jolla ISD Middle School District Champions for 2017-18 school year. From Ann Richards, Chess Edward Reina. From Chavez, 6th grade, Daniela Flores in impromptu. Chavez, 6th grade, Social Studies, Jenna Zamora. Chavez, 7th grade, impromptu, Eliana Martinez. Chavez, 7th grade spelling, Jalen Vela. Chavez, 7th grade math class and charts, Omar Ortiz. Chavez, 8th grade modern oratory, Casey Garcia. Dr. Science Middle School, 6th grade number sense, Maria Magallon. Dr. Science Middle School, 8th grade number sense, Eduardo Perez. Dr. Science Middle School, 8th grade math class and charts and social studies, Juan Mendez. Their UIL coordinator, Mr. Armando Villarreal. From Garcia Middle School, listening skills, 6th grade, Daniel Moreno. Garcia Middle School, 8th grade, Spanish poetry, Analí Flores. Garcia Middle School, 8th grade spelling, Stephanie Moreno. Now the Zavala Middle School, 6th grade poetry, Natalie Munoz. The Zavala Middle School, 7th grade, modern oratory and poetry, Devin Garcia. The Zavala Middle School, listening skills, 7th grade, Miranda Flores. The Zavala Middle School, 8th grade, poetry and ready writing, Amanda Chapa. The Zavala Middle School, 8th grade, chess and science, Josue Mendoza. Memorial Middle School, 7th grade, calculator, mathematics, and number sense, Elijah Maldonado. His coach, Carlos Martinez, and UIL coordinator for Memorial, Mr. Ricardo Hinojosa.
Congratulations to all of you. Parents in the audience, please stand and be recognized for these middle school students. Great job, great job. Principals, middle school principals in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for supporting your kids. Our next recognition is recognition of our Imagine Learning campus recognitions and some Imagine Learning top 10 parent recognitions. Marta Castillo, Executive Director for Elementary Education, will take care of these recognitions.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Salinas, Board President, members of the board, Dr. Benavides, Superintendent of Schools, Assistant Superintendents, and members of the audience. This evening, we would like to recognize schools with continued exemplary usage of Imagine Learning Language and Literacy Program. And with us today, we have Thelma Garza and Linda Lejos, both with Imagine Learning, who are going to be recognizing principals and parents tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. Each year, Imagine Learning recognizes exemplary partners who have displayed excellence and consistency in their use of the Imagine Learning program. Schools and districts alike are recognized for their dedication to the use of the software for educating students with Spanish and English language and literacy. The customer recognition program from Imagination is not only highlights schools that have demonstrated outstanding use of Imagine Learning, but also recognizes schools that demonstrate a high level of innovation. So we are very proud this year to award the recipients as follows. For the 2017-2018 School of Excellence Award for Imagine Language and Literacy, we have Dr. Americo Paredes Elementary, Principal Erika Gonzalez. For our School of Excellence Awards for Imagine Español, we have Narciso Cavazos Elementary, Marisa Garza, Principal. We also have Elodia R. Chapa Elementary, Linda Laura Lopez, Principal. Also receiving Imagine Español Excellent Award, Rosendo Benavides Elementary, Donna Martinez, Principal. William J. Clinton Elementary, Martin Munoz, Principal. Also, we recognize E.B. Reina Elementary Principal Idalia Perez could not be with us tonight, but we do recognize her also. In addition to the Schools of Excellence, we have two schools who are receiving our 2017-2018 Beacon Awards for Imagine Language and Literacy. They are Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary, Dianabel Gomez Villarreal, Principal, and JFK Elementary, Mary Guerra, Principal. She is with her lab proctor, Benítez Zamora. These are your Schools of Excellence and Beacon Awards for 2017-28 Imagine Learning. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for your continued dedication to our programs.
Parents of these principals, if you're in the audience, please stand. No, just kidding.
The next recognition is for parents, and this is very special with us. We are being innovative at our Imagine Learning, and we always look to La Jolla District in order to see what is going on. And one of the major innovations is having the parents use this. So we are recognizing parents for the highest usage of Imagine Learning for the 2017-2018 school year. The parents were encouraged to use Imagine Learning to help them in two ways. First, to develop their own English language skills, but also to explore the content of the program to help their own children with literacy skills at home. We would now like to call forward parents who were amongst the top 10 users of Imagine Learning this school year. We also would like to recognize the parent liaisons and principals who have done a great job in supporting and creating these learning opportunities for these parents. Our first recognition goes to a parent from Kika de la Garza Elementary, Esther Perez. Parent liaison is Monica Salinas. Principal Irene Fernandez could not be with us, so we have Maria Melendez, supervisor, representing. From Tabasco Elementary, Lorena Gonzalez. Parent liaison is Marilu Cantu and Principal Marena Contreras. From Dr. Palmira Mendiola Elementary, our parent is Vanessa Dillard. Parent liaison is Rita Moreno, and Principal is Alicia Gutierrez. From Rosendo Benavides Elementary, Adriana Vallejo is our parent. Parent liaison Kathy Salinas and Principal Donna Martinez. One more group of parents from Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary, we have Patricia E. Ortiz. Brenda Poteo. Maria Nancy Basan. And Vanessa Vivian. The parent liaison at Gonzales is Alicia Barrera, and the principal is Dianabel Gomez Villarreal. We would also like to recognize Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary. They had the highest usage for the parents enrolled at their campus. So we are also honoring the Alicia Barrera, parent liaison, and Principal Diana Gomez Villarreal for having the highest parents at the campus.
Thank you, parents,
Thank
for
you.
being.
Thank you, board members, and Dr. Benavides for your support with this program. Thank you, board members and Dr. Benavides for your support with this program, but especially for supporting the implementation with parents and the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, parents, for being role models for your children. Thank you very, very much. Our next recognition is recognition of the La Jolla ISD Youth Mentorship Program. These are some very special young men who are going to be introduced by Mr. Ricardo Villarreal, Assistant Superintendent for Student Services.
Okay, if I may, you may give me a little time here to talk, Dr. Benavides. Thank you, Dr. Benavides, President Oscar Salinas, of course, distinguished board members and participants attending. I'd also like to thank the board for allowing us to, and the Office of Curriculum and Instruction, Office of Human Resources, the Operations Department, Student Services Department as well, all the administrators that are still here, and counselors who helped make this event possible. And of course, the kids that are there. All right. In October of 2017, the Office of Student Services, along with the City of La Jolla, Penitas, Sullivan, Palmview Mission, Hidalgo County, and the Department of Public Safety embarked on a mission mentoring program that would provide intentional group and individual guidance for at-risk fifth grade males. All right. In all, the Office of Student Services and the counseling departments and administrators and campus principals mentored over 70 at-risk males in 12 different elementaries. The program tied La Jolla ISD with our neighboring communities and offered at-risk youth males and exposed them to various departments such as athletics, the fine arts, CATE, and other avenues in their future in order to give them an opportunity to discover what it takes to make a positive difference in oneself and other people's future. These young males here this evening demonstrated maturity, they demonstrated growth, and they demonstrated resilience by improving their discipline, by improving their attendance, and increasing their grades throughout the year. This indeed is a priceless transformation to our community. We will continue to build positive relationships with not only fifth graders, but 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders as well. We're going to track these students through middle school and high school, and someday, kids that are over here listening on the wall, you fifth graders, someday, hopefully, you can return the favor to other at-use risk students in our schools and in our communities and help make a difference. So without ado, I'm going to go ahead and also, before I call their names, I'd also like to thank Ms. Gracie Gonzalez. I know you're here somewhere. Ms. Adriana Villarreal. I know she's here somewhere. And Ms. Cynthia Góngora, because these ladies were very instrumental in making this happen for these young males. Thank you. Again, board and Dr. Benavides, thank you very much as well for allowing us to go think out of the box and do good things for our kids, especially our at-risk youth. We'll start with Sebastián Quintanilla. Leo Gonzalez. Avian Garcia. Andrés de la Rosa. Leonardo Rodríguez. Sebastián Arredondo. Alejandro Marroquín. Saúl Llanas. José González. José J. Alcala. Misael Huerta. Michael López. Luis Ortiz. Ángel Vargas. Jesús Arcieniega. And Alexander Peña. If you look up at the top, that was the event that Ms. Ortiz let us have at her campus at JD Salinas. And we had over 70 kids and teachers and parents. And we also, I know Dr. Benavides is the one that allows, the one that thanks the parents. But thank you, parents, for allowing us to work with your kids. And we hope to make this a bigger and better success next year. We're going to follow you, kids. Thank you.
Congratulations, boys. Parents, if you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Principals supporting your male students, please stand and be recognized. Okay, thank you. A special thank you to Mr. Cantu, Mr. Salinas, Mrs. Ochoa, and Mr. Alanis for helping us recognize all of these students. And we have a little treat from Leo Elementary, so Ms. Jasinski, tell us all about it.
Today we have Herencia de Mi Tierra. They would like to perform for you Zapateo Jarocho. Hope you enjoy it.
You look so pretty.
Y'all look beautiful and handsome. Magnificent job, Leo Elementary. Wonderful. Parents, please stand and be recognized.
We're gonna give a couple of minutes for the kids to exit and the parents, so that we'll start with the next item.
That's tough to follow.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough for you to follow that. We're still dancing here.
That was so awesome.
Now I wanna go home.
Yes, me too. Do we still have to stay?
We're the fine arts.
Now we don't want to do the meeting anymore because of the dancing. Well, we have to.
Sorry, Gus, it's gonna be hard to follow that for real.
No pressure.
You better be as good as the kids that dance. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem
I
here.
promise you I won't be.
Unless you can dance.
Unless you can dance.
Build false expectations. I promise you I won't be.
All right, well, thank you to our Leo kids and all the staff and parents. Moving on to the next item, be the discussion item, the presentation report on Shepherd Government Affairs.
Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished board members, our trustees, and Dr. Benavides. My name is Augustine Garcia with Shepherd Government Affairs. I'm here to present to you our services and progress since the beginning of our inception of our services. Our number one goal, or our primary goals, are advocacy in Austin and more funding through different grants available through the state. I have a couple of things I want to read to you just now that I prepared. Bear with me here for a second. First off is identifying obstacles, laws, and issues with the state government that could hinder or affect the school districts negatively. The state of Texas allows school districts to contract firms to help them with issues statewide, issues like regulations on bond issuances, funding methodologies, Robin Hood laws, where wealthy areas around the state get more funding than less affluent districts, thereby affecting our students negatively. New programs whereby less affluent districts would receive funding for CT programs due to the need of the area or the demographics or labor market needs that have been assessed through market studies and community outreach initiatives, working with the governor's office, Abbott's new tax plan to pass a school finance reform package that we expect this coming year because of the adjustments to property tax reforms, regulation on school bonds, and the district's ability to obtain funding. As a result, we must take lobbying efforts at the state in identifying ways to provide more funding for the programs at the La Jolla School District. We had an opportunity to meet with several of your employees, Dr. Sines, Ms. Maria Leal, who is the grants coordinator, Mrs. Clem Garza, who is with the technology department, I believe she's the director. And as it stands from our initial discussions, we feel the school district is doing a very good job when it comes to technology, their CT programs. The infrastructure in place is very sound. I say that, and obviously we had presentations today where there's some excellent programs here in the school district, and that's a good thing for us because that allows us to not have to build infrastructure or make recommendations for infrastructure because as far as we're concerned, La Jolla is doing as good a job, if not better, than probably every school district in the Rio Grande Valley. So we feel we're very happy about the programs that you have in place. It gives us the ability to go and lobby for the things that we want to lobby for and take things to a higher level, if you will, or help you achieve those goals that we're going to set out. This is very significant for us because right now La Jolla serves about approximately 5 communities, which is La Jolla, Penitas, Alton, Sullivan City, and I say this for the audience, and of course all of you know this, and parts of Mission. One of the things that concerns us about La Jolla ISD is the fact that you have approximately 30,000 students. That makes you the second largest school district providing services to students in Hidalgo County and the third largest in the valley. What's concerning to us, and not necessarily concern, but something to forecast in the future or be concerned in the future, is if there are funding changes or programmatic changes at the state level for funding for school districts, you don't have, even though you're larger than most school districts in the valley, you don't necessarily have the tax base that, let's say, McAllen or Brownsville or in Edinburgh would have as far as commercial buildings are concerned. So it puts a burden on you in being able to fund programs, and you're the largest employer in that community of 30,000 students and approximately 60, 70,000 population. So that's a huge concern for us, and I think it's one that the state needs to recognize. We feel it's important that we don't lose students. One of the issues that has come up in our discussions with some of your staff is that other school districts are recruiting students away from La Jolla School District, or they're trying to recruit students into their programs from La Jolla School District, and that's very concerning for us. And looking at that, we feel that more needs to be done in order to promote the different programs. As I mentioned earlier, the programs you have are excellent, bar none as good as any other program in the valley. And there's no reason why a student would have to leave La Jolla School District in order to get the programs or the services they would want. But we think that your local community partners need to be doing more. The cities need to be doing more. The government entities or non-government nonprofits like your EDCs need to promote the school district more. And so we feel we need to go out and advocate for you and talk to these different members, along with your help, to have them try and promote the school district and explain what programs we have that they should be, I guess, promoting in their communities, whether it's the largest business employers or the largest entities like the cities and municipalities. I think that would go a long way. And we talked to Dr. Sines about some of these initiatives. I know the school district is doing some things. Your public information department is doing some things. When we met, we were instructed to wait 2 weeks from our previous meeting, our first meeting, if you will, because you had a lot of things happening with school ending, with graduation ceremonies, with different programs and teachers and people that we would need to speak to. So the end of 2 weeks is this week. So we'd be starting that next week. The plan is to develop a strategic model or strategic plan using some of those issues to address and fix or find resolution or plans. Now, these plans would be brought to you, but initially, we would meet with people like Gracie Lopez with College and Career Readiness, Velma Ochoa, Parental Involvement, Guadalupe Chavez with the CTE Academies, Jorge Flores, Clem Garza, obviously Dr. Gisela Sines, Superintendent Benavides, and the Superintendent's Cabinet. And so what we would like to do is prepare a strategic plan using some of the things that we talked about and how we would find solutions to, number one, stop or retain students and prevent students from leaving by developing either a marketing plan or local advocacy, a way for us to outreach to the entire community so students won't want to leave, or parents whose perception is maybe there's other programs or there's better schooling or educational opportunities for them in the surrounding communities or surrounding school districts, but we just don't see to be the case. So that's one thing we feel we should work on with you. The other thing is there's a lot of programs right now that La Jolla School District has that other school districts don't have in your CTE, Career and Technology Education. You have a very robust, if not superior, technology program, robotics program, CTE program, and probably any other school district in the valley. Definitely Hidalgo County, you're just as robust and as comprehensive. I want to commend you on the grants you're receiving through your grants department. Some schools don't even have grants coordinators, so that's definitely a step in the right direction because you're actually going out and pursuing those grants progressively or actively. Right now, there's competition with Hurricane Harvey. The state right now is looking at their needs because of the hurricane and what happened to them. So it's even more vitally important to go after them aggressively so that you can get those. Now, based on what I said, La Jolla is approximately 4,000 employees, the largest employer in the area you serve. Now, that's very important. The governor, obviously, they have strategic plans on how they're going to fund different programs throughout the state. And you're competing, as you know, with other school districts and the millions of other students that need these types of programs as well and the funding to implement these programs. And so we feel that La Jolla and the fact that you're the largest employer in the community you serve is a crucial point that needs to be addressed with the governor's office, with the state agencies, Texas Workforce Commission, et cetera, because their strategic plan or their philosophy is that they want to have a number of kids coming out of school so that unemployment is decreased throughout the state of Texas. And so the fact that you are the largest employer, that your demographics are unique to the Rio Grande Valley, and that you're servicing so many students is something that we feel could be relayed or communicated with the governor's office as well as some of the larger state agencies that provide funding to the La Jolla School District. So what I'm trying to get at is that we feel not only do we have to have the local community outreach and explaining the good services that are being provided, but also develop a strategic plan that's going to communicate these things to the governor's office as well as TWC, TEA, State Board of Education, et cetera. Now, we'd like to take you, if you're willing, the superintendent or any of the board members, for those meetings. We've scheduled a meeting with the governor's office and Governor Abbott for the month of June. And so we're inviting either superintendent, assistant superintendent, or one of the board members to go with us. We've also scheduled a visit with TWC Labor Commissioner Julian Alvarez and his staff. There's a program that we would like, and we're using it sort of a reason for us to meet with them and explain some of these things that I'm discussing along with our strategic plan, and this is all part of the process. Once we visit with your staff for the next 2 to 3 weeks. We anticipate the strategic plan to take about 45 to 60 days before we have a final version to bring to this board for final approval. But the reason for it, we're using it sort of as a reason to go up there and visit with Mr. Alvarez and his staff, is to explain some of our initiatives, some of our challenges and barriers that we want to address in developing our strategic plan so that we know what they want and they know what we want. And so together we are kind of joining forces. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we're trying to do. We want to be on the same page with the governor and their strategic plan with a 30 by 6 or 60 by 30 initiative, as well as a tri-agency initiative that Governor Abbott implemented this coming year, as well as his tax plan. As you know, the valley is treated a little bit differently than the rest of the state in a lot of different areas, in government planning, in different laws. If he does a finance package or proposal, he needs to consider these type of communities where we're servicing a huge sector. We're the largest employer, and the last thing you want to do is burden us, and we have to start letting go of jobs, because then you're increasing unemployment, and at the same time you're decreasing the opportunities for kids to get employment once they come out of school. So it could have a doubly negative impact on the area. So we want to make sure and express that to him and help them decide what we need, and at the same time we can provide the things that they want. So we're on the same page, and that's sort of what I'm getting at there. So as part of our deliverables, when we first came on board, we had a number of them. The ones highlighted in yellow is what we're working on right now, which is develop a strategic plan to identify the challenges, which we'll be doing in the next 45 to 60 days. Community outreach. We'd like to go out to the different cities and municipalities and largest employers and start discussing with them the challenges that we face and why our programs in our school district has superior programs, education rates, every other thing that we have that's a positive, so that they're communicating that to the public, to their stakeholders as well, and actually spending hopefully some marketing dollars in promoting La Jolla ISD. We feel word of mouth is probably the strongest advocate for the school district, and we think that will at least, if we are losing students, and I don't want to come up here and say that we're losing students or we're gaining students or whatever. I think that's more of a discussion for the board to have amongst each other. But in the event that we were to gain or lose, we'd be ready for those things and at least have them help us reach out to the rest of the community. I think word of mouth and them understanding the programs we have will spur any potential recruitment efforts or hinder any potential recruitment efforts and build up barriers for people or organizations that want to take students from La Jolla School District. And state advocacy. As you know, we're reaching out to the governor's office as well as TWC. We'll be reaching out to TEA as well without interfering with the competitive bidding process for grants. Now, that's something we cannot do. We can't go in there and say, you got to give money to La Jolla School District. What we can do is we can meet with the stakeholders and the leaders and the people that make decisions and explain what our challenges are and how they coincide with their challenges for the state. And so the idea is to be on the same page with them, and so that our programs are delivering the things that they want delivered. And so in the end, if these things are communicated and filtering through the staff as well as the organization, and then when our grants come up under the competitive process, if we meet the level that we need to meet and we make it to the next decision-making level, then maybe La Jolla is being picked. And so those are things that we want to closely monitor and advocate for you. And at the same time, we're up there as well. Now, as I mentioned, lobbying efforts, there's a lot of changes happening. There's different laws and legislative issues that are coming up this coming year. But the advocacy starts now. If we start advocating when it's already starting, we're behind the 8 ball, and that's not what we want to do. We'd like for you to go with us to Austin and sit down with some of these leaders so that we can explain to them what our challenges are. And so those are the 3 things that right now we're currently focused on. And in the next 45 to 60 days, depending on how quickly we move with your administrative staff and the superintendent and the superintendent's cabinet, to bring to you a viable strategic plan discussing all of these things that I just mentioned. So the first stage in developing a strategic plan is meet with the stakeholders, which I mentioned earlier, discuss the TA grants, CWC grants, the tri-agency state initiatives, and strengths and weaknesses that we're experiencing, and how we can meet those or address those challenges and promote those strengths. So we want to talk about the largest employer, meeting with the governor's offices, meeting with decision makers. There's another program called GUAMA, which is the Greater Waco Advanced Manufacturing Association. This is the program in Waco. Julian Alvarez is, for lack of a better word, in love with this program. And basically what this program is, it's your CTE program amplified. You already have a lot of the things going on, but what they're doing is, and I'm going to show you their motto here. If you look at it, what they're doing is they're combining all of these programs along with engineering and mathematics, and they're creating a program where students that are not necessarily seeking jobs in the trades would be attracted to these programs because they have mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civic engineering, mathematics, all the different programs that they would be interested in. And so immediately after graduating, these students are not only participating with students that aren't seeking that career path, they're working together, and your teachers are working together to get these certifications for these students. So technically, they could receive certification as they're going through college. And so let's say a student that wanted to go into electrical engineering, that's not typically a student that would go through a CTE program, but they would be interested in electrical engineering or civil engineering program using advanced mathematics within your CTE program. So this model, rather than reinvent a wheel or try to find a way to do something that is different, Commissioner Alvarez has said that he would love to support a program like this here in the Rio Grande Valley. We explained to him we think La Jolla is the perfect candidate for that. Now, the reason why we feel that's important, if that were something that we decide that maybe through the CTE programs and through the superintendent's cabinet is something we could do without burdening the school too much, and then get funding from TWC to implement or something like it. It could be a hybrid. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. My goal here is not to overburden your administration or your staff, more to talk with Mr. Alvarez and TWC to find out what they want and what we can offer. As part of the strategic plan, if this is something or a hybrid of something like this was implemented, this would be brought to you in the strategic plan. And then we would find ways with programs like this or model programs that students would like, teachers would like, employers would like, and the community would like, and would attract students from other districts to come here. Guama is 14 different school districts participating in one program. So Waco School District has the program, but 14 different school districts are participating in funding this program along with TWC. So essentially, if we had a program that was modeled that way, you would have school districts participating with you being the hub. Now, that's just the model. That doesn't mean that's what La Jolla needs to do. Again, we're there to sit down with TWC and figure out what is it they want and what we can do and what funding's available so we can do it. So that's something that we've invited your superintendent as well as staff, specifically the ones I've mentioned, to see if there's something that can be done in a hybrid fashion. And of course, the local advocacy, collaborating, you've seen this slide before, but collaborating with local partners like your largest employers, your municipalities, the economic development organizations, ISD, colleges, university, industry, along with the CTE program. And so then, as part of that ongoing strategic plan, Shepherd would provide project support, presentation updates like I'm doing today, the analytics and benchmarking and the data based on what you decide as a strategic plan for the district. So currently the progress has been the things I just mentioned, a model for what we're going to do, meeting with the governor's office and TWC and TEA, and creating that top of mind, if you will, at the state level. So that when our grants and your grants program submits and we make the list, they know who we are. And we're top of mind with them and what we're trying to do here locally. And at the same time, state advocacy with lobbying efforts on funding packages, finance programs, and any new legislation that comes along that is currently happening that's definitely going to be controversial when it comes to funding. And I say that because Abbott's new plan, is, the word is, or what they're saying in Austin, is that the new plan is going to call for a new funding package for school districts. And what does that mean for La Jolla? I think those are some of the things we have to discuss when we meet with some of the representatives in Austin, and how that's going to impact and what we can do to change some of those things. It's going to require your input. It's going to require a trip to Austin, maybe a couple of trips depending on your availability, and sitting down with some of these representatives as well as the governor's office, so that going forward, La Jolla is not just a blip on the map, that we're actually somebody that's doing something and working with them and the governor's plan. And that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Any questions, guys? No? Things good?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Next will be public comments. Do we have any there? Okay, moving on to consent agenda. I'll need a motion by Mr. Alanis.
Second.
Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Coming back under letter A, contracts, approval of resolution to consider alternative graduation requirement.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Alanis.
Second.
Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Under contracts, number 2, System 44 Reading Program, software yearly contract between La Jolla ISD, Houghton, Milton, Hartford for 2018-2019 school year. I have a motion by Mr. Alanis.
Second.
And a second by Mr. Cho. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Under letter A, contracts number 3, membership in the Region 1 Education Service Consortium.
So move.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Cantu and a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. Number 4, under contracts, yes. Number 4, memorandum of understanding
We're gonna-
between La Jolla ISD and,
We're going to put this one on hold because we understand there's going to be a change of ownership in the company. So we're going to bring it to you, we're going to postpone this item.
okay.
So move to postpone.
A motion to postpone by Mr. Alanis and a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. Moving on to letter C, business and finance. Participating in the 2018 AEP Texas City Smart Program.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alanis and a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Under letter C, business and finance, acceptance of the substantial completion of La Jolla ISD lighting project for Hope Academy.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Alanis
Second.
and a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Under letter C, business and finance, number 8, acceptance of substantial completion for La Jolla ISD lighting project, JFK Elementary.
So move on items 8, 9, and 10.
Okay, I have a motion for items 8, 9, and 10 to so move for completion. Mr. Alanis, I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. That'll be 8, 9, and 10, right, Mr. Alanis? Okay, moving under letter D, instruction and student service, addition of 2 South Texas College dual credit summer classes.
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Choa, and a
Second.
second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. Under letter E, human resources, 2018-2019 school year staffing allocation guidelines.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Alanis,
Second.
and a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. And under letter E, human resources, consideration to approve extra duties and additional days for energy management specialists.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Cantu,
Second.
and a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. At 7:54 and under section code 551, 072, and 074, we'll be going into executive session at 7:54. All righty, it's 8:42 and we are back out from executive session.
The President would like to make a motion items 1 through,
10.
was it 10, Jerry?
Yes.
1 through 10, as discussed in executive session?
Motion by Mr. Alanis,
So move.
and
Second.
a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned at 8:42.